One of the things we find very difficult with communing with our elemental guide is our pendulum swing, our pendulum integrity. As mentioned earlier, it is the most integral part of the tools that we use because it is the kinesthetic link to our elemental guide. Now, when one starts out on this journey of communing, using the communing chart system, trying to interpret the dreams, the visions, the kinesiology, the symbology and the nature realms, there is confusion, there is chaos because of our ego and because of our pendulum swing and our pendulum integrity. Most people would start out with less than 20% integrity. And the integrity, or the lack of it, is due to illnesses, diseases, ego, interference, karma, so your negative thought patterns, all of which become a lot clearer or cleared through the karma clearing process. So, as one clears karma, one's pendulum integrity goes higher. When one's pendulum integrity goes higher, one's messages, be it for karmic reasons, be it for healing purposes, be it for passive information about your loved ones, about your children, about your partner, your wife, about your mother, your father, and your brothers and sisters, becomes far more easier in terms of time. But it is challenging because one needs to surrender. And that is awfully difficult in this day in life because of our ego, because of the influence and because of the interference that goes on. But through one's connection with their elemental guide, your awareness has become more raised as your integrity goes higher and you reach certain ordinations. And those certain ordinations bring forth your guardian realms, your multidimensional beings who are then able to commune with you far, far easier and able to offer you much, much more than what you've ever known. And that's a wonderful gift.
Time. This is the most important factor right now, time. It takes time to practice the communing chart system. It takes time to clear a karma. It takes time to understand all what EarthMother is wanting you to understand. If one cannot devote or give that daily time, there is no continuity and no fluidity. So time is what EarthMother needs from us right now.
Time is awfully difficult. Having one who's had to experience a lot in the last 4.5 months, time's challenging. The devotion one has to put to this is one of dedication and one of commitment. And there are a lot of things that hinder or at times prevent us or even stop us from doing that. But once one stops doing the messaging and connecting and communing, one loses that fluidity, that continuity. One loses that continuity. One loses or goes into a degree of polarity where one is triggered because one is not communing. One is not using a daily communing practice. One is not using a daily vision practice. One then loses touch, disconnects with their elemental guide because their ego begins to take over their thinking and therefore throws them further into polarity, therefore making the work far more difficult when one comes back to it to try and get a pendulum swing. Your integrity can drop just as quick as it's risen through going into polarity. And through that polarity process, you could very well be reliving a karma which drops you down even further. So it is crucial that one keeps that daily practice. It is crucial that one stays away from going into polarity. And that will only happen when one communes with the elemental guide and starts to be a lot more intuitive or in tune with what is around them and what is causing that polarity. That consciousness raising, that awareness, is what keeps a human on the ascension path.
One cannot talk about time without surrender. Surrender goes hand in hand with how much time you can put into this work. And it's through surrender, which is an ordination to 8,000 strands of DNA, that propels you, accelerates your ascension. Put the daily time in and you accelerate into your ascension. Accelerate into your ascension and you get pendulum integrity. You get pendulum integrity and then you no longer have an opinion. You use your pendulum for everything you want to know. And that, in turn, accelerates you again.
For opinions can lead to ego thinking, which can lead to a disconnection, which drops your DNA strands because you move into polarity. DNA strands in the etheric. For there is ordinations within the etheric that each human steward needs to meet. But through clearing karma, the regenerative work begins on the body, through the endocrine, the organs, the hair, the skin, the bones, the teeth. All begin the correction work, which kickstarts the crystalline body conversion, so that what is absorbed in the etheric through the DNA ordinations begin to manifest physically within the human body, which would also include growing new glands for the 5 extra chakras. So there is a lot of work for us to do, a lot of enjoyable work, fulfilling, satisfying roles to play within not only our own ascension, but through the service work that we give to others. All with the mentorship, all with the guidance of our elemental guide and the multidimensional beings, the guardians.
There is no one else that's going to come and help you from another planet. There is no one from Sirius. There is no one from the Pleiades. The work is done with the Earth Mother and her elementals. All this work comes through them.